everybody. That's George Taylor from On-Track Audio. He brought the ELD-AB back. That's the custom rebuild job from an old amp, and this time we're adding an external capacitor pack on it. And what are you gonna say about it?
Well, I don't know. I thought you were just going to do the whole video from over there.
That's too much. I can't kneel down that long and then stand up. I get dizzy.
So this used to be an ELD-BD. This was an integrated amplifier with the Class D output section.
Yep.
Output module.
With a 6SN7 tube in there.
That's right. And the output section failed, and the client that owned it didn't want to proceed with replacing it. So actually, it was a perfect storm. It was a client of mine that I knew that was looking for a new amplifier, wanted an amplifier, wanted to get into tubes. We talked about a couple of different options. Another, not a client of mine, but another, the previous owner of this decided that he just didn't want the ELD-BD anymore because it was non-functional. So I acquired the chassis, had some talks with my customer, and we decided to turn this into an ELD-AB, which means we essentially gutted, what, 85–90% of this?
Yep.
Yeah, gutted it, put a new amplifier in there and turned it into an ELD-AB with the new output device. It's got, as you can see here, it's got a control here for the tube. It's got a control here for the solid state. So we have mixable tube and solid state gain stages. It's, in that respect, it's a lot like, not exactly like, but a lot like an i810 integrated amplifier.
Yes.
Now, here's the cool thing. This is essentially a art interpreted funky, because it's a reclaimed piece. Now it's a reclaimed blue circle piece, so it's a little different in that respect. There's less
gutting involved.
Less gutting. Well, not less gutting, but less removal of the infrastructure. Right? We can still use the jacks. We can still use the speaker terminals and all that sort of stuff.
The preamp stage are actually in there, intact. The tube stage are in there, intact.
Yep. So there were things we could use, obviously, but there are extra holes for extra heat sinks. It's a considerably different amplifier on the inside now than it was. The great thing about this is that we took this piece that was literally done for, and we've made a really good amplifier out of it. In point of fact, we've added about 2 farads total of capacitance to the back. We've put more capacitance on the B plus rail for the tube. We've put more capacitance on the input stage. We put more capacitance on the output stage. We pre-installed all of those jacks when we built this in the first place. And now what we have is we have an amp that performs. This is actually, even though they're not electrically identical, this amp probably performs at least as well as, possibly better than, an i810 integrated amplifier for about half the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So funkies are exceptionally good value. Now, this is a funky taken to the extreme. Could we do another one like this? Actually, under the right circumstances, we could. We'd need a chassis that's big enough.
Yeah.
Or we'd need to run into another blue circle project, another ELD-B.
And then may I add it is cosmetic is not a 100% priority, and look at the power supply.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing about the funky, right? That when you do a funky, you have to understand cosmetics. If there's an artistic rendition, that's one thing, but cosmetics are not the priority.
Yep.
The production items, cosmetics are a bit of a priority, but with these, it's not. It's just, it gets. Don't get me wrong. This looks very nice up front.
I want to add that, clarify that when we say cosmetic is not so much of a priority.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the cover will have rust.
Yeah.
That is practical. Yeah. No rust. Functional. Okay. I have to hand drill these big holes in there, but after I done that, I painted the edge, make sure that all the edges are covered. There will be no exposed metal, bare metal.
Yep.
There will be no rust. So it's not a so-called what you may think is a beat-up chassis. It's not.
No.
So it's a totally practical, 110% practical chassis.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of a funky. Well, actually, not true. In this case, practicality was the entire object of the exercise.
Yes.
In the case of a funky, it's also an artistic statement, so it's a little bit different again. And those who get funkies understand that. So a couple of different types of product here. This is obviously a little bit of a rare bird. It was the product of a set of circumstances just kind of coming together in the right place at the right time. Not to say that we couldn't do another one, but it's more likely we could actually do something like this in a funky. We could do something of this magnitude in a funky. It wouldn't be cheap, and I don't even know if that chassis would be big enough to do it. That's probably suitable for what, a level 1, a level 2 funky?
Oh, if we get 3 of those chassis, they'll be big enough. It's just a matter of space. It's 3 chassis. See, there are 3 chassis there.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's,
I was talking about this. This is just a separate thing. That's never gonna. You know what? I shouldn't say that.
Don't say never. I mean, it's
I never say never. We could put one of those in a funky chassis if we really needed to.
Yes, I have done that.
Yeah,
I have done that too.
So
I have done a capacitor pack in a cookie can.
Yeah. So if you want to totally funkifize something like this, you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, this is really neat. We just listened to it. We're not going to bore you with listening to it over the internet, because although you'll be able to hear kind of how it sounds, it doesn't really do justice to what this does. But it sounds great. And this was kind of the plan all along, to start with this and add that later on. And now we've got it, and it sounds like a really, 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 really refined and capable. I know you hate the word refined, but it does sound refined.
I don't hate anything.
Yeah, you just don't like it.
Now I gotta make sure I rate this video as like some sort of parents PG or something, because he used the H word. He made me use the H word.
Did I use the H word?
Yeah.
No.
HATE.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 4-letter word.
Yeah, I wonder it would cost me a bite of Costco hot dog when
I don't know.
rated it.
Well, if I cost, you know what? If me using that word cost you a hot dog, I will buy you a hot dog.
It will be a bite of hot dog,
Yeah.
not a whole thing.
But anyway, point being, this started off as kind of a project, went this far, we added this to it. It's tremendous value. It's not cheap. Again, not cheap. Don't expect you're going to get this for $900. Like, forget it. No.
But once you have a taste, now I'm going to sound like a salesman, but once you have a taste, it's honestly, when I rebuild these things, I didn't expect the customer will buy these things so soon. It's like 7 months, 8 months.
Yep.
I can go back and check when I do the video for this.
Yep.
But that's like, it's really soon.
Yep.
It just, I don't know. Maybe it's just like drugs.
Now I think you've got another problem with the video. Say no. Don't do drugs, kids. Say no.
I'll say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs.
It's the same video, so I'm just going to have to do it once, rate it once.
Oh. So anyway, that's it. That's all we got.
Okay, we should shut it off before we say anything wrong.
Well,
say any more
I'm
wrong?
not going to say anything wrong. I think you're the one that's taking it the left turn here.
So what?
Say no to drugs.
Yeah, say no to drugs. Say no to alcohol.
Drive safely.
Again,
Keep your stick on the ice.